Favorite poses, Pincha Mayurasana. In Sanskrit, in English, it would be called forearm balance. Pincha means feather. Mayurasana means peacock. It is said that the peacock is the association for Saraswati, which is the goddess in Hindi culture of art and beauty and the inspiration of knowledge. Which is a wonderful thing, because knowing where you are in space as you go vertically is one of the challenges of this pose. Pincha Mayurasana is a delicious, accessible forearm stand that uses as a base from the tip of the fingers to the elbow. Unlike the other inversions, tripod headstand, which takes the top of the head and the two hands, or even handstand, which has nothing but your palms reaching out, this stand is a wonderful way to take your body upside down. It opens the shoulders. It strengthens the body. You use the core muscles that you use in Tadasana. However, the focal point shifts. In Tadasana, mountain pose, which is our normal standing posture, we're using the core muscles. The pelvis is the focal point, and our weight is distributed as we are affected by gravity in the lower half of the body. So the torso is floating, you're using your ribs, you're using your core muscles, you're balancing, as well as the shoulders and the pectorals, your chest muscles come into the picture. In Pincha, it's flipped. As in most inversions, the focal point comes at the base of the heart. So you have a wonderful flourish. It gives you a ferocity when you can get this pose. Although this is one of my favorite poses, my neighbors who live downstairs didn't quite love it. The number of attempts that you might need where you fall in and out of the pose can make it a bit tricky, but it is quite accessible. So let's get started. To start off, there are poses that you can work in with the strengthening exercises. If you have a block handy, you can take your block and place it as though you were the director in a film around the base squares of either corner. This gives your wrist a guide. Your fingers are extended. You're pressing down with your forearms as well with your elbows, which actually end up taking a large amount of the weight before it's distributed out to the tips of the arms as you regain your balance. You step into the pose, looking forward, placing your weight, you walk in, continue to open your heart, looking forward towards the block. Then you lift one leg and hold. This is a nice place to enter the pose and get you used to the extension of the arms. Another pose, if that doesn't quite float your boat, is forearm plank. And forearm plank teaches you the posture without going upside down. It gives you the wonderful abdominal strengthening exercises. After a while, I will start to shake, but this was one of the poses that I did to prepare. Downward dog is another wonderful pose that prepares you. Pressing in with your shoulders, you can start to prepare for a forearm as well, dropping to the elbows and pressing up. It's a little bit more strengthening, but also important to give you the courage and the confidence. Dolphin is another pose that prepares us. You interlace the fingers all the way up to the webbing, crossing the thumbs over one another, driving the hands and the elbows into the floor. You lift up, walk your feet back a little bit, touch your chin, and then come back. Touch your nose, and then come back. This up and down motion simulates the need for balance as you move over, opening your chest, creating the shoulder distinction of opening the shoulders, spreading the clavicles, and creating the movement that takes your shoulder blades down the back and creates the heart opening part of this pose. I'll show you the pose in full. Once you've practiced those for about 7 years, no, it doesn't take that long, but it could take quite a while to develop that shoulder strength, so don't be daunted. You press in, hands are pressing down, fingers are gripping like mad. You're opening your heart, look towards your thumbs or the front of the mat. You lift up, and you try. You lift up, and then maybe you take yourself over and you balance. Looking forward, pressing down, pressing with your hands, keep lifting up, keep flexing your feet. Internally rotate your thighs, drive your elbows down and lift yourself off. Interestingly enough, my head is not on the floor. It's floating. Continue to press up, find verticality. Keep breathing. And then touch down. This pose is very exhilarating. It reverses the flow of gravity and creates for you an amount of confidence. It's also a little bit show-offy, so you can feel like you got something done. It's good to practice this at the wall. You can take your block to the wall and place it right into the corner. Drape your hands around the base as I showed you before. And then kick up. Another possibility as you get better is to do what's called L-shaped handstand, which is this pose. You're on a right angle, but this time you're doing it on your forearms. So you have your block, you come into a shortened downward facing dog, measuring yourself off. Again, driving down your wrist, reaching through the base of the hands, fingertips through the thumbs or wrist, reaching, wrist to the elbows. Walk yourself back, and then practice here. One leg comes up, and then the other. Then come to rest in child's pose, placing your third eye onto the block, absorbing the effects of forearm stands, and then trying again. Your home practice is an exciting part of yoga as you mature as a yoga practitioner. You can wear what you want, you can fall as much as you want, no one sees your mistakes. It's rather like perfecting a recipe before your company comes. So please enjoy your Pincha Mayurasana and take care. Thank you. Yoga has meant the world to me after practicing for 18 years. It's helped me develop poise, equanimity, and balance. In this pose particularly, it helps me look at things from a different perspective. Because when we go upside down, our perspective shifts, but that same grace and elegance should happen whether we're upside down or right side up. You can practice breathing. Breathe as you're in this pose. Breathe before. When you come out, observe the effects. Do you feel different after gravity? I know I feel different after inversions, but I encourage you to attempt it, and I look forward to being with you again. Namaste.